Hey, it's Jason from Couch to Camino. It's been a month since my last post, and you know, I have no excuse. I have no excuse. I feel like I'm in trouble to the two of you who are watching this. Things have come up, but that just seems kind of petty. So let me just say that a lot has happened since last time I posted. First off, I have stapled a Muppet to my face, as you can tell, wearing the glasses, instead of the contacts. Interesting, the things that you take for granted when you're not traveling, and so some of the things I've been thinking about trying to work through are contacts versus glasses, and I think I've pretty much settled on glasses. I have a pair of my brother's sunglasses, some Oakleys. I think I posted about earlier that I finally got prescription lenses. Thank you, Palm Eye Care. And so I've been walking with those, and I'm pretty comfortable with just the glasses and the sunglasses, and so. But yeah, things have been going really, really well. Finished my last walk in Niceville with Jack. Last Sunday we did a little over 22 kilometers, which it's not as far as the longest day, but it's up there with one of my longer walks, and with a full pack. So it's gone pretty well. It's taking about 5.5 hours to walk that. Excuse me. It's with a couple of breaks, but I'm pretty comfortable with my limits, and that's really the most important thing. And again, with the weight, it has made a big difference. My pack is roughly 15 pounds. They say it should be 10% of your body weight, which for me would be like, I'm not even going to say, but way more than 15 pounds. Still feels a little bit heavy. My weight, my own personal weight, it's holding steady. It's still down, not as far as I'd like it to, but I live in a town of a lot of fast food restaurants, and at the end of the day, people, I'm only a man. That Whopper calls to me. It's a siren, and it dashes me against the rocks of the drive-through. So I'm trying. I'm still holding out hope for these last couple of days to kind of lose the weight or supermodel diet it. What goes well with a bunch of burgers when you're on a diet? Your finger. Anyway, so the last walk in Niceville, I've got one more walk this Sunday through Crestview. My plan is to walk. It'd be about 20 kilometers here is the hope, and then walk back and forth from one end of town to the other, and then that'll be my last big walk before I leave. I'm doing smaller, 3-mile walks, 4-mile walks during the day, after work, things like that, but off and on. But my last big walk will be Sunday, and then that's kind of where I am. Have decided that there's a third day in the Ingles, which traditionally is about 29 kilometers. I'm not sure I'm up for that yet. I'll see when I get there. A couple of interesting things about the climate, which may change my opinion. Last year, the average was about 99 degrees. This year, they're averaging in the 70s. And so that makes a huge difference because it has absolutely not been in the 70s here. So that may help me a little bit. That's also kind of helped me with the fleece versus no fleece debate as far as a jacket. And so I think I'm going to go ahead and probably go with the Scotty Vest fleece. I'd kind of gone back and forth because of the weight, but pretty sure now I'm just going to go ahead and take it, and I feel pretty comfortable being able to carry that. The Delorme InReach, the low jack, has been working great. Anyone who's been watching that, it tracks really, really well. The battery life is decent. So I'm pretty happy with how that's working. So I think that'll be a good way to kind of people kind of keep track of where I'm going, and I can kind of do the same. So let me think what else has been going on. Other than that, it's just becoming very real. And I know it sounds very crazy, but I literally leave in 6 days for Orlando to stay with Mark and Mary Jo and Danny, and so that seems just crazy to me that in 6 days I'm there. And then a day or so later I fly out. Haven't really looked through the stages as much as I'd like. I keep saying I'm going to, but again, procrastination and Whataburger kind of prevents that. But I got to make a real push for that this weekend as well. A couple of things that have happened that have been additions. Mom has been working on these, and I talked about this in one of the earlier podcasts. The shell being the symbol of the pilgrim. One of the things that kind of jumped out at me early, if you may recall, was that when I was looking for shells to take, I couldn't find any. These were shells that my brother Joel and my parents would hunt for on the beach and had. And so this is one of the, I call them the Joel shells. So mom has been putting the cross on them, and I put the holes in. I'll wear these, and she's going to do a few of these so I can bring them back and carry them with me. And so, I'll be obviously getting things when I'm there, I'm sure, the normal kind of thing. But these are an important part of the trip for me. It's, that connection to why I'm doing this. That connection to, to Joel. So very, very excited. This is the first one of those, and I've got to find some string or something to put in that. The other thing that's happened is that partially is a joke, and partially because despite the best efforts of the Florida State Foreign Language Department, I'm horrible at Spanish. 3 semesters of Spanish at Florida State, and I have hola and cerveza, really, which probably will get me through the Camino, but I feel that I probably need a little bit more than that, so it doesn't look so ridiculous. So I've got this idea. I bought some blue flashcards, and I've got some jotted down phrases that I think will be important. And so, partially as a joke, and partially as I really am going to flip through these and kind of remind myself of some basic phrases before I get over there and on the plane. And that way I won't look quite as much like a complete maroon as I'm going to invariably. So I'm going to go through those, kind of see some of the phrases that I'm using. And if you are at all of Hispanic descent, my apologies to your culture. If you speak Spanish at all, you're really going to want to turn the volume down, because this is just going to be, atrocious. So let's see. So I have the normal. Let's see. Buenos dias. Buenas tardes. Buenas noches. Or nachos. I think is how I had that spelled. ¿Cómo está? And again, these are easy, but, you forget, if you don't use them. So, soy bueno. I think you're supposed to say it with that kind of level of excitement. Gracias. ¿Dónde está el camino? Which can either get me on the path to Santiago or point me towards a used car salesman. I don't know how that's going to go. It's going to be entertaining either way. ¿Está abierto el albergue? Let's see. All right. Hey, un menu del dia. Now, one of the things they talk about is that along the way, and I don't think it's just on the Camino, but just in general, there are what are called the menu of the day, the deal of the day. And there's pilgrims menus as well. And so one of the things they say is if you ask for that, a lot of times, if they don't automatically offer it to you, it's a cheaper, more of a tapas kind of meal, but it's a little bit smaller and a little bit more, realistically priced. And so I'll be asking for that. Let's see. And then un café con leche, por favor. Coffee and milk is evidently a really big deal there. I fervently hope that that's not the only beverage on the Camino. Let's see. ¿Dónde puedo encontrar comida? Let's see. Encontrar. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I said that right. Anyway, comida and beverages. Let's see. Important. ¿Dónde está la parada del autobús? Now, I've got to take a bus from the airport when I fly into Santiago to go into the middle of town and then to go to Ferrol. And so, actually, that will be pretty important. Let's see. Necesito un taxi. Now, that's kind of like my, in case of emergency break glass kind of thing. I'm hoping I don't need a taxi at all, but there's enough there that if I need something, I can ask for, a ride. Let's see. Hey, un cuarto del baño. Important, and it goes along with the menu of the day, I'm pretty sure. Let's see, these last ones. Let's see. Requiero atención médica. I'm hoping not, but you never know. If I do need that, because it's going with one of these, creo que se ha roto, or, I think the equally important and used for many different occasions, esta erupción no estaba allí ayer. So, there you go. Really, this, everyone should just translate into every language. You just never know. Now, the other thing that goes along with these cards is, because I have absolutely no shame when it comes to raising money for Joel's scholarship. I mean, literally no shame. I did make the mention to a couple of friends of mine that for a set $100, they could pick their favorite song lyric from the 80s, and I would translate it into Spanish and I would work it into a conversation. And the idea would be that I'd film it. So yeah, and that seems like a really funny idea until you realize they're really seriously going to do this and they're really kind of trying to put it to me. So I have an entire stack of those, but it kind of give you an idea. These are the two that I've got right now. Toda la vida no he encontrado lo que estoy buscando. And I totally destroyed that, but I think, either as a Pilgrim, an American Pilgrim, or a Bono fan, they'll be able to get that just fine. The other one that I don't have a card for because I've pretty much memorized it is El Hijo es no mi hijo. Thank you, Michael Jackson, and anyone who wants me to, yeah. El Hijo es no mi hijo. I'm going to work that into a conversation. If you can't figure that one out, yeah, that's going to be great. So I've got others. There's probably about half a dozen song lyrics that I've got to work into conversation, which really won't be a problem. Try not to do that around security or police or members of the clergy. But it's all in good fun. And again, no shame when it comes to raising money for the scholarship. And if that's what it takes, I will absolutely do that. So I will probably need the hospital card after I've done some of those. But yeah, so really that's kind of where we are. I've got 6 days before I leave. Very excited to see Mark and Mary Jo and Danny. Not excited to be leaving the Star-Lord. But it's kind of starting to creep up on me that this is getting real, as my friend Craig said, it's getting real now. Yes, it's definitely getting real. So I'm going to I've got to start doing more of these video logs and getting better, updating the blog, but also getting used to doing this. My plan is still to do this once or twice a day when I'm on the road, to kind of send messages back and so everyone knows what's going on, to kind of share what's happening. So I'll try to get better at this in the next 6 days. But other than that, one last walk on Sunday, and then 2 days later that night I'm on the road, and then it's getting real. So nervous and excited, but I think that's what faith walks are supposed to be, honestly. So hope everything's going well, and just keep watching. And thank you very much, both of you, for watching this up to this point.